We have a great matchup for you today. The Amish Paradise and the Noble Foxes. How you doing today, Karma?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to a match here between Noble Foxes and Amish Paradise. Looks like we are already on the roll.
Yeah. So both players seem to have probably started on the sanctuary there, and we don't know what they find, but there's a map in the mushroom spot in the Lost Woods.
I will already say props on the sprites. We got the Piranha Plant on the left. Ooh, Cane on Bandit's Hideout. I assume both of them have the Cane at this point.
Yeah, ObscureLifeForm probably grabbed that.
But the Piranha Plant on the left and Hollow Knight, that's a newer one.
Those are some pretty nice sprites. So we'll have to pay attention if these runners menu at all, if they got any goodies in Sanctuary or anything like that. We're probably about 3 minutes into the race at this point.
Obscure did find that the Green Guard seemed to be doing random drops, so he's farming them for the 8 bomb pack, which I think he's pretty close.
Yeah, I think that's about the 4th or 5th one in that prize pack. And
yeah, he's gotten the red rupee and the full magic already.
Yeah, it's not a bad way to farm some money. Oh, unfortunately, taking a death there. Whereas Radical Sniper is just kind of hoping they're going to... it looks like they found a 3-pack somewhere.
There was a 3-pack in the Cackwell chest.
Yeah. Making their way through those standard Kakariko checks. So once again, this is an all dungeons key sanity. All the keys are out there in the world in random chests and item locations. You have to beat all the bosses, including Aga Tower and, of course, Ganon's Tower, before you can even beat Ganon. This mode is really, we can find a mirror there and a key for the Skull Woods. This mode's kind of like a tour de force, just bring out all the execution, do everything you know how to do.
It essentially feels like it becomes a who can full clear the game in a better fashion.
We got Bombos down there on Amish Paradise side. Which, of course, ObscureLifeForm is about to pick that up as well. Waste of money at the bottle vendor. Just a compass. We already know how many prizes are in each dungeon.
Yeah, so AD keys, it's usually a very long mode. There's a couple keys that are really hard to find. Usually Swamp Small is very important. You want to find that early. Both Castle Tower keys also. Your T-Rock small keys also. Those usually tend to be pretty good bottlenecks.
Yeah, always
I know everybody
mind.
I know everybody's always afraid of the good old-fashioned ice rod hunt. Well, you can have that on top of a Castle Tower key hunt in this mode. I don't know which one's worse. But so we're just going through CAC. Looks like Jesse's farming some money. I'm guessing he hasn't checked Bottle Vendor yet?
Radical Sniper did check Bottle Vendor because we got...
Okay, he's just getting bomb money.
That compass, yeah, they did run out of bombs. I noticed because they did use their last bomb in the chicken hut there, instead of spending a little more time to go into that bombable hut, get that refill room. So
yeah, so a little background on the match. This is game 2 between these two teams. Amish Paradise took game 1. If Amish Paradise takes this game, they will be tied in first place with Missing Two Bows. Next week, Missing Two Bows and Noble Foxes face off. And there's a series of events that can occur that still put any 3 of these teams in contention for the top 2 spots in their division.
yeah, none of these teams are eliminated, and none of them have clinched for the playoffs. Oh, there's a lamp. That's really going to be useful. We know we're going to have a bunch of dark rooms today, so let's go get that lamp. It's also a fire source, which locks a couple of chests in a couple of dungeons, and even a boss.
Yeah, early. Don't think you ever skip the lamp. There's some question later if you already have fire rod and stuff, but given how early they're finding this, it's an easy grab. And Jesse here saving a couple seconds by going straight in and bombing, not checking first.
Yeah, it's a little more optimal, I think, to do that in 80 keys, where the keys and prizes are outside of the dungeons.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we don't know if either one of them actually started Link's House. It looks like they did, so the Link's House chest is open for Obscure. So I don't know if he did Uncle start or not.
Yeah, with the timing, because we came in about 3 minutes in, I'm thinking that, yeah, we did probably do an Uncle start on both sides, as neither of them are going up there now. It's also not too uncommon to sort of skip the Uncle until you have something to get through escape, and maybe you can even combine it with checking at least one chest in Aga Tower, or maybe even both, or completing it. So wouldn't be surprised either way.
I love the early 300 rupee finds.
Yeah, that's great, especially getting close to thinking about maybe going to Zora, whether it's logical or it's sort of a water walk or fake flipper over there.
What do you think about the early Agina walk over Mini Moldworm?
Well, it is a location. This is as close as you're ever going to be when walking to it, so it is a play, and we are getting some divergence, so we're going to see whose routing pays off a little bit more here in the early game. I mean, it's always a thing. It's something you don't want to do when you have 2 or 3 other checks, so if you get it out of the way, it sort of puts your mind at ease that there's nothing there, or if there is, I already got it. So we're going to see 1 check on the left and 5 checks on the right. That's a pretty big item.
I saw the bottle. What did he find before the bottle?
So we have the hammer in Agina's cave. And Radical Sniper did get a boomerang, but then there was the bottle. But
Agina hammer's pretty nasty, because that means he's going to have to take a save and quit just to go to Agina at some point unless he finds the flute.
Yeah, that's one of those things that is one of the ways to get Dark World access. So if we end up not getting the Castle Tower keys and we can't get through there, and we only find one glove, they're eventually going to be bottlenecked there, but it is going to be super helpful for Obscure Lifeform. I mean, it's also a weapon that they can use. It's limitless, you know, you don't need to worry about your magic usage or anything like that. There's another 300 pack, the Ice Rod Cave. Very rich today, which is great. Obscure Lifeform just a bit behind because they did make that big brain play and go and get that hammer out of Agina. Let's see if they think about fake flippering to check Zora. It's not really optimal at this point because you're going to be walking by a couple other things that you can check later in the game. Let's see if we get that thing here. Okay, so green pendant is Tower of Hera. Get a little information from Saha there.
And that's an easy, fast green pendant. I always like to see that as a green pendant, because normally green pendant, especially pendants and 80 keys, you're worried about finding the big keys late. And that's one that necessarily don't have to have the big key for, because Herapod exists.
Yeah, if you get the right items, you can sort of skip basically the middle floors of that dungeon and just go right up and beat the boss. So we'll be on the lookout for the hook shot and some boots or, of course, bombs, which generally are always in the player supply. We do get a fake flipper over here, Obscure Lifeform. Scouting the location that is locked behind some more progression, but we're not going to have to go back there for that piece of heart on the Lake Hylia Island. And a little bit more money from the man under the bridge.
His little
Healing his
penance
life
of a life
savings.
savings. Yep. He doesn't have much, but he gave you everything he had.
So generous.
So we have a few more checks. What are we missing for Dark World access? We still need a glove and a Moon Pearl.
Yeah, Moon Pearl would be nice. I'm assuming we don't have that, although we really haven't seen a menu, or they've just been so fast. So and I really haven't seen any keys so far, which is a little surprising in a key sanity mode.
Oh yeah, no early keys is actually a very big concern in this mode.
Yeah.
It definitely means you're thinking double dips aplenty, maybe even some triples.
So
Mushroom in the Eastern.
So there's a nice little fetch quest for you. It actually kind of unlocks 2 fetch quests, and Obscure Lifeform has a hammer which they can access the magic bag if they want to do a fake powder trick with that Canis Amaria and the mushroom when they get it, although they don't have it right now. Whereas Radical Sniper can really only turn that in at the Witch's Hut and see what that is. I'm assuming there's going to be something in there.
Well, I'm also assuming if there's not, he probably knows how to save scum it.
Yeah.
Which, if he just saves and quits from here and then takes the portal south of Link's house, you can just turn it in, check it, and then reset your game if it's nothing, and keep your mushroom for later.
So Obscure Lifeform going into Escape, I guess they missed. They didn't go into the Uncle drop down, so they must have done that at the beginning of the game. Getting nothing out of the first chest.
We did have a pod key in the vanilla big key chest of Eastern, so that's at least a small key.
And that is logical right now. We do have that lamp that has led us there.
Okay, looks like Radical's following up towards Hyrule Castle.
Yeah. Oh, another thing, we need to talk about that bottle is going to open up the check in Kakrio Village of the Sick Kid, as we get a castle tower key in Escape.
Ooh.
We're also not going to Uncle I'm just assuming that they did that at the beginning of the game and we haven't noticed it.
You want to know what I kind of want to see? Because I haven't seen this in a race yet on here. I want to see a swordless Agatower clown. Maybe you can't have completely swordless, but maybe like second chest of Agatower has the sword you need.
Yeah, you can get 2 checks in there before you need that sword to get in all the way to the back and to kill Aga. So they're going with that lamp going into Dark Cross here.
Which all they need is a cape in order to gain access to both checks right now with that one castle tower key.
Yeah, if they're gonna use that castle tower key to go in and get the first and the second with the lamp, we would need a cape or 2 swords here to get through the lightning on the front of that door. Interesting to see if we're gonna find a key here, or maybe that cape like you were talking about. Moon Pearl, okay. And
Which makes sense.
We know we didn't get the key yet because it's not marked on any of the players' displays with the key count when you're in that dungeon.
So what do we have left logically? Sick Kid for both of them. I think, is this going to be the Eastern play for Obscure? Because I don't think he went into Eastern, right?
Yeah, they did not go in there to get anything to the side of there, so we know they're going to get a mushroom and a pod key.
So we're assuming then that Mushroom or Sick Kid has something.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those 2. I mean, a glove would open up a lot for us. We go onto Death Mountain. We know we have the mirror. We can get up to that Tower of Hera. Get at least a couple things from there.
We can't get to Tower of Hera yet.
Well,
without the glove.
If a glove does show up at one of those 2 places that you were mentioning, that would open up a lot of progression. They would also give us Dark World access now because we know we have a hammer. So
yep,
there would be.
It would open up like 60% of the world.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming is going to be the item we find. I mean, it still could be cape into sword and escape, which would be gross. But I mean, there's still options on how they're going to get to Dark World at this point.
Yeah, or another castle tower key to finish off that dungeon if you do find a sword. Somewhere in one of those locations.
Ooh, vanilla castle tower keys.
Yeah, that would be good. Seen it before. Didn't like it.
It's at least a good early Moon Pearl. It feels good to have Moon Pearl early.
You know, I am assuming we don't have the glove yet because we did miss, the first couple checks, but I haven't seen them lift any of the rocks yet. I mean, if they had gotten an early glove, ObscureLifeForm would have been farming that rock right there that RadicalSniper's walking by to get something from there instead of trying to get that 8-pack. So, pretty certain they don't have the glove at this point.
Yeah, I'm also pretty sure Jesse wouldn't be going straight for Sick Kid and since he has mirror, he'd be going Dark World and mirroring in front.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of glove.
And there we go.
All right, so yeah,
now the choices are open. This is probably where we're going to see all the divergence.
Yeah, now they don't have the hammer though, because they have not gone to Agina in the desert to get that hammer. So they're not going to be entering the Dark World yet. They're going to be checking the Light World glove checks. For them, that opens up the Zora logically. You can get there with just a glove. You can walk all the way there. Okay, we got a map. Pretty useless back escape here. Can't get to Dark Cross. Well, I guess they already checked it.
Yeah, that clears out all of Hyrule Castle. So that's actually one thing that Radical just gets to knock off now. So now, yeah, he's gonna go up the mountain too.
Yeah, looking for the hammer or second glove to give them Dark World access. We know where the hammer is. They might find a second glove, or that might be locked in the Dark World, which I'm kind of assuming it is. We see Obscure Lifeform just running through their magic. They are almost definitely going to be doing that fake powder here, so they can get to Magic Bat and use the Cane of Samaria and the mushroom to fake the game into thinking they have powder.
Alright, so Old Man just gives us a map to Misery Mire. Don't know why he has a map for a dungeon not even of his world. Always odd when you think about things in perspective of where they're supposed to be in this game.
Didn't quite check it. Looked like a key for one of the dungeons in the Dark World, either 3 or 4, which I think we have a Skullwoods marked. So I was just trying to catch Obscure Lifeform's menu really quick and didn't do a great job of it. But our team seems to be doing a great job so far.
The early Skullwoods keys are kind of nice, especially the one safety key. It's just Fire Rod right now locking them out of that dungeon. Small key to Ice, also nice for routing. I'm actually never sad to see. I'm never sad to see an early Ice key. It makes routing an Ice Tea or the right side so much easier. But with Cane, it's going to be Ice Tea routing.
Yeah. I always hate trying to go in there and going the vanilla way. Even with the Ice Palace Bomb Jump, it just makes it bad to have to go the long way with the hook shot or bomb jumps to get to that hammer locked chests over there. Get a quick map check. Thieves Town is a red crystal. Ice Palace is a regular pendant.
So that's 2 pendant information out of the way. We got green pendant and blue pendant. What does Hera hold? We know it's not what he's looking for. So far, his mountain checks really haven't gotten him anything, and continue not to. So I think he has that, and he also, because he found the glove, has Zora and Logic now.
Yeah, not too surprising that the mountain and the first couple of checks in Tower Hera didn't really have anything. Oh, we found a flute in Skullwoods. Just because we know that hammer's there, it looks like they're going to go and get that now. I think this is down to the last 2. So, kind of good for Radical Sniper that there wasn't other Dark World access to make them sort of push this off anymore. Oh, a vanilla, at least in the dungeon, Skullwoods key. That's kind of nice to have when you already went through, and I guess they have the mirror. They're going to mirror back anyway. Oh, wow. French vanilla fire rod.
Okay, well, that's a fully completable dungeon.
Well, we can get into the back part with 2 chests, but we can't actually get to the boss because we don't have a sword yet, and there's a little curtains in the way. So, sorry, there's 1 chest and 1 prize locked behind that sword. And I guess they do have blue mail. They must have gotten that early. And, but 4 hearts, Mothula, not really the top of everyone's bucket list. Oh, wow. Dark World just giving us everything here. Hookshot.
Yeah.
House.
VOO is just buckets of stuff, and it looks like Jesse's got his hammer. He's going to start with Hype Cave. That's the start most people do in the Dark World, but turns out not to pay off, at least not yet, unless he finds some really good stuff.
Yeah, there could be some stuff in there, or it could be terrible.
We're also going to get the first 4 of Thieves. I do like this. I always like dipping first 4 of Thieves and keys.
Oh, definitely. You don't want to last location something here. It's gonna. I mean, now they've got a flute and stuff. It's going to be easy to come back, but why waste time doing it later when you can do it right now? Big
No.
heart. That's nice.
And that map of Skull Woods is really, really nice. 2 hearts and a big key to TR.
All right. That's important, but it's definitely not something that ObscureLifeForm is going to be ignoring at all or putting off.
Yeah, so this is actually kind of funny. They could actually have really early TR access.
Yeah, really all we need is the Titan's mitts. And
I didn't catch what that
sword.
other dungeon was. It was, I think, Meyer in Thieves Town?
Oh, I did miss it too.
I know it was Thieves Town, but it said Thieves Town 2nd, which was the one we already knew about. Okay, yeah, somebody in chat confirmed it is Meyer and Thieves. As the 2 reds. Ooh, Keon Stumpy to T-Rock. Okay, a lot of early T-Rock stuff coming.
Yeah, we are still going to need a sword to activate whatever medallion is going to be there. If it is Bombos, we could get in at that point, as well as the gloves. And we do, or a hook shot will be showing up on their side. We know we've got it. On the other side, I'm pretty sure ObscureLifeForm got a hook shot, right? In Sea House? Is that...
Yeah, it was in C-shaped house. What did we see on Magic Bat? Do you remember? Well, we're gonna see it again because I see Jesse just burning through his magic.
Oh, there's a sword. Wow.
Sword on mushroom. Okay,
right.
Now I take it back. Skullwoods is completely completable now.
Yeah. You were just a little bit ahead of yourself. I mean, you were saying in logic. I understand that.
Now we get to do a... He waited a second, so now he gets to do a 6-heart Mothula if he wants.
I mean, I'm right here. You know, if I'm the runner, I'm right here. I've got everything I need. It's the back. It's never going to be faster. Maybe wait to do it later when you have a book and you can check the tablet or something. But you know, sometimes no time like the present. They got a couple of bottles, maybe one now because Radical Sniper did get a fairy and a bottle on the dig game, and ObscureLifeForm has not gotten that. Yeah, they're gonna at least think about it.
I think finding the big key and the fire rod and the small key, I think that's a pretty big call. It's the seed's almost screaming at you to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only 3 checks, but I mean, it's also good information too. Like, he already knows what Skullwood is. He has a map. Oh, hasn't checked it yet, but
yeah,
we do have the map for it. But I mean, we'll find out if it's the other pendant. Then we have complete knowledge. 28 minutes into a key sanity seed.
Oh yeah, needing a little bit of magic here. Hopefully they can... there's a full magic here in that bombable room on the right. Looks like they're putting it there, hoping that doesn't despawn. Oh, wow. Skullwoods is a treasure trove today.
So let's keep it running tally. We have Fire Rod, Mitts, and Flute so far inside Skull.
As well as another key for Skullwoods. Not to be overlooked. Technically, we need the third one somewhere, but you know, we don't care about the logic and stuff, and it's clearly going to show up at some point, so...
I'm interested to see what the 2 items in the back are.
You know, I mean, that third one could be in Pod or up on Dark Death Mountain or something, and, you know, it's accessible to us now, but we don't want to go get it before we can beat the dungeon. Let's just do it right now.
No, this is going to be a really good trip for Obscure too, because where Jesse already took a small dip up the mountain, Obscure's got a full clear of Light and Dark World Death Mountain already.
Yeah. So I think the bottle they have is empty. So we will see if they, you know, get in some trouble if they need to use anything, but they don't have it. Oh, it is blue. Okay, thank you, Nobly.
Yeah, I knew one of them had something, and then Jesse, I think, has found a second bottle because the game had a bottle with a fairy.
Yeah, which will come in very handy. You know, you hope you don't need it, but when you do, it's great to have.
And the very rare Fire Rod Fighter Sword, which will probably devolve into Fire Rod Hammer.
Yeah, Hammer's a nice item for Mothula if you can get in the right position. And they're going to switch to it now. Confirming, yeah, they do have that blue bottle still. They didn't use it somewhere. Nice.
And nice.
Ah, another bottle.
There's your empty bottle. I'm actually hoping that under the bridge they find the Book of Endora.
I mean, you definitely check it. You're never coming back here. You need to check it right now. It's 80 keys. Any chest could be the one chest you need.
See, Jesse does not have a sword, so I'm assuming he's gonna bail once he gets mitts.
Yeah, I would say turning in the mushroom is going to be on their high list of priorities.
Especially
with the flute, and they've already done the fake powder, so I think they'll find a sword eventually. You know, this isn't really bad that they're double dipping, just like ObscureLifeForm did.
Yeah, we know Moth doesn't have an actual useful item, but it was a regular crystal, so we don't have full knowledge yet. We still need to know what our third pendant is. We need to know where red pendant. Because it was ice was blue, right?
Yeah, ice was a regular pendant. Excuse me, pendant. Because we knew Thieves Town was a red crystal.
Yeah, so we're going to see Jesse go in here. He's going to get his hook shot. I'm going to check the other checks and follow along while Hype Cave's being checked on ObscureLifeForm side. Pretty sure Obscure is going to go right over to Pyramid. Could go back around left, but see, Jesse does get to do hammer pegs and blacksmith checks.
Yeah, because they did go to that middle chest in Skullwoods first. Let's see if they also do the mirror and loot to number 2 and maybe get a potion or turn in the mushroom before coming back and see all that.
Alright, so we've got a lot of equipment here. We've got equipment to beat Ice Palace. We've got... we can do a lot of TR if it's Bombos. We've got Light and Dark Death Mountain. If we find the small key to Swamp, that's full clearable.
Well, we do need the flippers to get into Swamp, and technically
flippers
get into Ice Palace, but we can get around that one. But Swamp, you cannot get around that. Yeah, this seed has been really nice with. I mean, it's given us the flute, and we already have everything we need for Dark World access, and we have the mirror, so we can route to the most efficiently that we can. It's really nice, just no matter where those keys going to show up, and a couple more of those items. Maybe we can get boots, move around faster, and then obviously the other footwear, the flippers, get into some of those dungeons.
Ooh. Jesse tried to take a Death Warp Fairy.
Death Warp with the mirror.
Well, I think he wanted to take it because I think he was like 3 hearts coming away from the chest.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fairy in the bottle always get you.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's easy to forget that you picked up a fairy along the way, especially if you don't have the Bug Knight or something like that. Or
which ObscureLifeForm thankfully does. He can catch as many fairies as he wants.
Yeah, or bugs.
Man, one of my favorite things lately has just been seeing people like they'll let the bee go, let it hit something a few times, and then spam recatch it. Yeah, that way it just doesn't fly away.
We are getting simultaneous Smith turn-ins.
Yeah,
What do we have for
so
us today?
I think that both of them literally have done all the same checks. The only difference is Jesse has done Old Man and Spec Rock, and the first two checks in Hera.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I think
ObscureLifeForm has their sword from the Mushroom turn-in,
Yeah.
and has beat Skull Woods, but there was nothing of value in there besides the crystal.
so. They each have, I think, like 3 checks on each other that the other one hasn't done. Otherwise, they are very similar.
Yeah, and like I was saying, with the mirror and flute, those aren't too far away, so these checks are going to come fast and quick. We don't need that compass. Unless you forgot where the boss is in each dungeon is for some reason, you don't need that.
Did they both? Yeah, I think they both did K45, right?
I believe so. They're both on the same number of hearts, and it was a full heart container, so I would have to say yes. Yeah, they both had mirror when walking by and getting stumpy, so...
Since they had done South Dark World checks, what do you think about them dragging Purple Chest up to Graveyard Ledge and then fluting down here?
It's not a bad idea. I mean, if you're going to go all the way up to Graveyard Ledge, you'd prefer to have the boots so you could do King's Tomb at the same time, but... So I do like pushing it off, you know, especially it's going to be just as fast to flute back here later and walk over there again, and you don't even have the cape to check and possibly grab the bumper ledge item, so I like both of them just fluting away, and we'll see if Jesse Radical Sniper here gets still eschewing the mushroom turn-in, not getting their sword yet. We know there's 4 of them, so they're probably going to find one eventually. We'll see if it's here or somewhere else.
Which is still fine. We're going to get to know knowledge on Mire, Mire Shed, parts of Desert, Checkerboard Cave.
Yeah, Mire is, as long as we have the medallion, it is logically beatable. Not right now without a sword, but because you need a sword to activate a medallion. So we'll see what the medallion needed here is.
It is quick,
so we can't actually get in. But that is one that technically would have been beatable.
So inside Desert right now, without stealing the key, he has 2 checks. You can see what's on Torch and grab Map Chest. And not going to be coming back for that shield anytime soon.
Definitely not.
And a big key to Hera. Ooh.
Oh, okay. I would imagine that would push him up the mountain again.
I mean, the mountain's not a bad call. You can clear all of the Light and Death Dark World of it. Possibly even get inside of T-Rock.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming he has Fire Rod too, because he definitely checked Pinball Room.
Yeah, we'll see if they menu, but I'm pretty sure they do have Fire Rod.
Oh, there's another sword.
That's very nice. Eventually they'll go back and get that second one from the mushroom, I would have to imagine.
Now I'm curious if Jesse's just going to go beat Skullwoods. Nope, back up the mountain.
Yeah, especially with the sword, this is not a bad play, because if Turtle Rock... In fact, it's a really good play, because Turtle Rock could be Bombos. You could get in there and get a
2
few
keys
things
get
out of
you
the
a
way.
lot.
Yeah. Oh, there's a key up there, which we can access just a little bit later.
2
on the
keys get
floating
you
island.
all the way to Laser Bridge, I think, right? By stealing the Pokey key in lava, or before the lava, vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, you can get, because we do have the big key. So if you do steal that key, you can get 4 checks instead of 1. Of course, we have Mimic Cave with the mirror. There's just a lot of options, right for the double dipping.
Who likes full clearing the mountain in one go? The only advantage, though, is he is going to go into Hera and be able to get 3 additional checks in Hera.
Yeah, and they do have the hook shot. So with the bombs and a hook shot, you might be able to save a little bit of time. We'll see.
He knows that mini Moldorm's going to come bother him as soon as he sets it up.
I would say this definitely is going to save a lot of time, especially not having the boots to be able to like do hook shot and bonk tricks with the big chest. And if you don't know that bomb jump. Ooh, another castle tower small over there on the left.
Like I said, finding them early is a good thing.
Giving it another go here for the Hera pot. Trying to line up in the middle of those 2. Ether medallion over there. Oh, and Quake. Wow. Okay. So now they know they're going to be able to get into Turtle Rock. Not sure if Jesse's sprite is sort of covering the shadow. It might be hard to line up based on a shadow. They might be using the sword or something like that.
The issue at this point is this is actually almost taking long enough that if you miss it on this try, I think you just walk up the regular way with the hammer.
Yeah, at this point it is definitely taking longer. Oh.
Yeah, and there he goes.
Thought that was the setup, but it must have been off or some subpixel weirdness or something.
Yeah, I agree with him. Just going up here with the hammer is still pretty fast.
Yeah, and if they do know the bomb jump to get to the big chest, sort of an NMG strat, but just very useful in rando as well.
So Quake for both.
Also Quake. Okay, interesting.
So Ether was not needed. Easily grabbable, but not needed. Ooh, Cape.
Looks like they're not doing the bomb jump. They don't want to accidentally fall a couple floors down again. So just playing it safe and easy. Oh, I don't know if coming off from the left is good though. Don't you have to come up from the? Okay, they were high enough.
Another sword.
Anyway.
So Cape and sword so far in Upper Hera.
And we also got the other castle tower key up here on the mountain, so we don't have to go searching for that anymore, because we did get the first one earlier in the game, I believe.
So Cape's very interesting. Cape only locks 3 items by itself if you don't have Master Sword. With Master Sword, which they have access to, they have actually access to Tempered already, it only locks 1 item, which we haven't seen yet.
And that would be great. Bumper Ledge.
Ooh, and there's our small key to swamp, so that's a lot of the troublesome small keys out of the way. If he finds flippers, that's a full clearable, well, big chest not, but mostly full clearable Swamp Palace.
And ObscureLifeForm also found the Tower of Hera small key, which locks only 1 chest, but, that could potentially hold something. Yeah, really the only other tricky one that there's only one of, I was thinking, is Desert Palace, which has 2. Obviously we're going to be looking for pod keys to logically beat that dungeon, and then, of course, all the big keys.
We need at least 1 more T-Rock key.
Yeah.
What key do we have here? We have a pod key. So that's 2 pod keys, and we do have green pendant, so that is another turn in for an item.
Yeah, with the early big key to Tower of Hera too, that kind of is saying check me, check me. You know, there might be something over there that Saha has a little bit of some goodies for us.
So I'm curious what you think he's gonna do. He's gonna find this small key to Hera and Hookshot. He's already double dipped Hera.
Yeah.
Do you think he thinks about going back in there?
The only way I would go back in there in the Tower of Hera to go to the basement would be if I was going to be checking the Spike Cave, which with the cape at the top of the Tower
Isn't logic.
isn't logic. So, you know, walking back there after kind of doing these checks on this side, including possibly Turtle Rock.
Well, see, the issue is since you can't complete Turtle Rock, getting out of T-Rock to do those checks is also hard.
Yeah.
You would almost have to save and quit back to the mountain and walk back up and mirror.
Yeah, or use the flute, which is, you know, it takes some time, but if you're willing to do that, those checks, you don't mind having to spend. Sorry, I'm just going to cut myself off because we found the flippers and that desert palace key. We're just getting all the items that we're going to be needing.
Yeah, so that to me is now screaming. You go from here to swamp.
So was that? I guess that wasn't locked behind any keys because there's no keys needed to get over to those flippers.
Not at all.
Yeah. We'll see if there's anything locked here in any of the, excuse me, any of these other rooms.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting whether he decides to do that Hera small or not. That could be a pretty big deal for him though, because that completely clears Hera out. Whereas Obscure, because he doesn't have the big key, is going to have to come back at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, it just matters. Do you think that,
Well, he's probably going to Herapod it, which means he misses a sword if he does that.
Oh, yeah, if you don't use the big key and go up there. We'll see what ObscureLifeForm does, but I don't know. For me, it would be pretty much our last location to go in and check the basement of Hera, even though we got the key early.
Well, I think Obscure's going to check it, because I think Obscure's going to go over there with plans on beating the dungeon. So you might as well beat it and then check it and then just quit out of it if it's nothing.
Yeah.
And we might even get Spike Cave on that side. I think it's harder for Jesse to do Spike Cave and Hera than it is for Obscure at this point. But it really just depends on what Obscure does from inside of T-Rock. There's also just the possibility that Obscure leaves from the mountain after this and goes straight to Swamp.
Yeah, I mean, full clearable Swamp.
Yeah, everything but the big chest is obtainable.
You know, and we can logically get into Ice Palace now. I guess technically the boss isn't in logic until you get the big key, but we know our way around that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of items over there you can get in a reasonably quick time.
And they did, one of them found the Ice Palace Big. They might both have found the Ice Palace Big at this point.
Oh, yeah, it's probably showing up here. Mimic Cave is nothing, so we have skipped Lava Chest, I believe. Probably making our way to Laser Bridge here to get those 4 checks.
The Ice Palace Big's in the first chest of T-Rock.
Got it.
T-Rock doesn't really look like it's paid off since the beginning so far, though.
Oh, and Jesse RadicalSniper99 is saving and quitting, not going into Turtle Rock. So they're not going to get their flippers, not even thinking about going back for Hera or Spike Cave or anything like that. Gonna go beat Castle Tower?
Definitely gonna go in there. I assume, yeah, probably beat it. Might as well while you're here.
So there are 2 checks there on the way up to beat this dungeon that we're gonna have to beat anyway. You know, there is a consideration of getting the checks and going out so that you don't lose that ability to save your portal anywhere or stuff like that. Because when you beat Aga 1 and you have the mirror, you know, when you save in the Dark World, save and quit, it goes back to to the top of the pyramid. So we'll see if they actually beat this or just resign to like double dipping it later with boots or something.
I'm gonna be curious to see what is gotten off a laser bridge, because this could be a big deal too.
Yeah, I mean,
anything else that comes out of T-Rock, other than the front, is just gonna compound on advantages. It's not leads at this point; it's advantages. It's really hard to call leads in AD keys for anybody who doesn't watch it a lot.
yeah, leads are very fluid in this. It's just a matter of who has the lead last, I guess.
Yeah, and to me, it's like it's just a series of micro advantages. So right now, ObscureLifeForm has a bunch of micro advantages. So
key to Mire and that third key to Skullwoods that we were talking about, that doesn't matter at all. So not really anything besides those flippers. So if anything is in Swamp, that's going to be a big advantage for Obscure, but...
and that it just adds to the micro advantages. So I mean, it's like Jesse's hope is something needs to be on the green pendant. Plus, he's going to have a sword advantage. We already know that because until Obscure gets the big key and goes back up there, because eventually the mushroom's going to get checked.
Right.
So Jesse's going to have at least somewhat of a sword advantage early, but Obscure has a clear ability advantage. Because Swamp is a big clear. That's what, like 14 checks? 13 checks? It's a lot of checks.
Swamp is 10.
It's 10? Yeah. 14's pod, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's double digits.
Sanity. Yeah, Turtle Rock is the second most dense dungeon. It's 12 plus, of course, Mimic Cave kind of being included. That is 13. So I guess Obscure got all except 2 of them.
Yeah, Obscure's about to get Master Sword. Yeah, Obscure got everything but Lava Bridge and Trinex.
So maybe there's a world where they're double dipping that and Jesse's not, but we'll see where that
Jesse would need at
shows
least one more key and Ice Rod.
Yeah.
And even then, that doesn't guarantee a non-double dip, because if Lava Bridge has anything, then...
Right. Yeah, it's always nice to have all 4 going in there, but Lava Chest is the one to skip if you're going to go in with 3.
Jesse not liking the blue ball, sitting there throwing a boomerang in his face. It's a lot of blue balls.
Yeah, I was not keeping track.
He's gotten like 2 to 3 both phases so far.
Obscure finding their Tower of Hera big key. Wonder if they will be tempted to go back in there. I mean, or I guess they checked the first 2 as well on their way up.
Yeah, nothing in there so far was hard progression. It was just a sword and cape. I mean, if something's on bumper ledge, then yeah, it's hard progression, but...
Yeah, that was in the compass chest, so that is accessible to them now, logically, and...
Hopefully somebody's keeping count of this, because it's getting dangerously close to that, like, 12 to 15 chance. Oh, no. That was at the end of cycle 3? Or 4? I lost count.
Let's call it 3.5.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot. Like... I think he got 2 to 3 in the first phase. I know he only got 1. There's the powder.
Oh, okay.
Where does he go from here? That's a good question. I see mushroom turn into catfish.
Yeah,
maybe Zora.
They might think about doing a quick check of the graveyard ledge, but without flippers, it makes it a little bit more tricky. So. Let's just do that later. Yeah, and Obscure looks like they are going up the mountain.
Following the Hera big
Yeah.
key. It's gonna get a sword. Gonna get.
Yeah, we'll see if they do the basement too, and if anything is there.
Wait, did? Oh, there was a sword on right side desert. I'm guessing there was a sword on right side desert, so I'm guessing the sword up in Hera is about to be butter.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do have that big key, so they will be checking that.
So we're still missing actually quite a bit of stuff. We're still missing a bow. We're still missing ice rod. Possibly boots. We aren't sure if boots are required because we still have GT torch. Or stuff locked under Bonk Rock / King's Tomb. And then we have keys. A lot of keys missing. We haven't got anything for GT yet. We need Mire big, Thieves Town big, technically Pod and Swamp big, Desert big, and Eastern big. We need a lot of keys.
Yeah, at what point do you think about going into the Palace of Darkness with just a couple keys and no bow? I guess there's a lot of other dungeons to be doing, so...
Okay, Crystal Roller was the other sword.
Oh, right.
We get to see if this basement has anything, because this is a big one too. Nothing.
Just a piece of heart.
What is our... Oh, he has a key. Is it worth 500? No. Mire's a luxury key. I guess paying 500 for luxury actually makes sense, right?
Yeah, but we've already got at least one of those. This is our second one, I believe, so... You'd have to pay me to take that one. Obscure getting the Herapod here with the bomb set up.
So I have a pretty big feeling, so it looks like Jesse's going to go beat Skull because he has that on the table. I have a feeling it's going to be Swamp.
Yeah, probably, and we know those flippers are internal rock.
I mean, it's either Swamp, Bumper Ledge, or Graveyard Ledge, or Ice. We have all of that open to us.
So if you're joining us... go on.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just going to talk about Pod for a second, but go ahead first.
If you're joining us late, or just to recap for anyone who's tuning in, this is a link to the past randomizer league, and we have the Amish Paradise versus Noble Foxes. So these teams are in second and third place, behind Missing Two Bows in first place, and this has a big playoff considerations here. None of those three teams are out of playoff consideration. If Amish Paradise wins, they're going to be tied for first place, and both of them will be 2 games ahead of the Noble Foxes. But obviously, if Noble Foxes gets this victory, them and Amish Paradise will both be tied for second. So a lot of mathematically still alive for playoff consideration here, as we got Obscure just demolishing Moldorm there at the top of the Tower of Hera, getting their green pendant, and now it's going to go check Spike Give.
Yeah, so to kind of elaborate on what you were saying a little bit, if Radical Sniper wins this match for Amish Paradise, they go to tied with Missing Two Bows, with Missing Two Bows and Noble Foxes playing next week, which means that if they win this match, Amish Paradise wins this one, and wins one game next week, they will clinch a spot. So that's where this is important for them. Now, if they lose this one, then it's just a big 3-way where a lot of stuff can happen.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that next week. As Radical Sniper having an easy time with Moth, getting their empty bottle.
Yeah, I'm guessing I'm going to go back in and get the bug net. And that's just where Jesse goes after this, because Jesse doesn't have a lot more in logic. Does have green pendant turn in, which we're about to see from on Obscure's side.
Yeah, I think that's new to us, right?
Yes, this is a new check, and it is a big key. Ooh.
All right, conveniently placed.
I don't know if... Oh, I was about gonna, like, pod was the one thing I was kind of scared of. So pod with 2 keys is not fun.
Right. And without a bow, it's not fun at all.
Yeah, you can bottle glitch, but it's all out of logic.
Now, I'd be doing swamp. I mean, it's full clearable, you know. You have to do left side swamp probably anyway. It's 80 keys. Stuff could be anywhere, so...
Someone actually in chat made a good point. They said that swamp doesn't have the big key available yet, but ice is full clearable.
Yeah, with the big key to Ice Palace, that might be the better option as far as single dipping a dungeon.
And it's also a red crystal.
Yeah. There could always be progression behind both the red crystals. You beat those, and you go get the Pyramid Fairy check. The other one is Thieves Town, which we don't have the big key for that.
Ooh, I don't think we've seen Lumberjack yet, so we're gonna get a Lumberjack check.
Okay. Yeah,
just a heart.
Radical Sniper had probably checked that because they looked a little behind at the beginning of the game when we were about a few minutes late. So they probably already know that is nothing. I didn't even think about that when they were climbing Aga Tower. Maybe they're going to do it for that, but I don't think they're going to go back for a piece of heart. Kind of getting some leapfrogging checks here.
Yep, so we're going to get, it looks like green pendant turn into the front of pod. Interesting that you dip the front of pod, but not the front, not all the way to Laser Bridge and T-Rock.
Yeah, especially when they were up there. I mean, now they're missing the flippers and, of course, the Ice Palace big key. Because those were both internal rock. Those were the only 2 things, and they were in the front 2 rooms, so they're going to be quick for them when they do go back as they're turning in their green pendant. Kind of get the big key.
Yeah, let's see what Jesse does with this information. The way that Jesse routed this, I'm assuming going for pod, which means a 2 key clear as much as you can, which is still a lot. You do have to kind of sacrifice going bow lock side a couple of times. And I don't know if Jesse has enough potions to potion glitch, and I don't know if he mimic clips or not.
Yeah, worst case scenario, they could mirror. Looks like they're bringing out the mirror, so they're either they're thinking about maybe going to buy a potion and then fluting back and using the portal or something like that, if they don't have a potion on them. Or they're just saying, this might be a bad idea, but I'll open it because I'm here right now anyway. I guess they can't buy a potion now, having spent some money. All the green potions are only 80, right?
Yeah, the green potions are like 60 or 80. They're under 100, I know that.
So hopefully there's a bow in here, then they can think about full clearing, or not full clearing, sorry, but beating the boss here. You know, wherever that bow is, that is beating the Helmosaur in this dungeon. And they're gonna go to the right there. They might still have that fairy. I know there's a fairy potion.
I think he still has the blue.
Yeah, probably. I haven't seen him use the blue, so.
Yeah, because he didn't go fight Moth yet, so I think he still has the blue. So Jesse has completed Castle Tower and Hera so far, whereas Obscure has completed Skullwoods and Hera and is currently completing Castle Tower.
Yeah, I guess they are going to go in.
Oh,
and
okay.
complete it.
Chad is saying that Jesse has done Moth.
Yeah.
Alright, so that means they're gonna have these same dungeons completed then after Obscure gets out of Aga Tower.
GT small. I think that's our first one of those, and we haven't seen the GT big yet either, which of course
Yeah.
is in GT.
That's our first GT key period, which is kind of crazy.
Okay, so we've got 2 keys now. We're definitely going to need to use one to get to the back. Where to use the other one? Do you get the vanilla big key chest? Do you save it? Do you check the harmless hellway?
With the big key, I think you clear everything out that is not the vanilla big key and a small key inside the dungeon. That changes a little bit.
That does change it, yeah.
I was gonna say you do the boss and you leave the 2 one-off checks.
Well, we don't have the bow, so we can't get to the boss. But I agree with saving that key for later. You don't want to use it and then never get it back.
I'm just willing a Bobby in here.
Just will it, yeah.
For the effort he's expended to come in here at this point.
Yeah. I think it's safe to, when you come out of the basement here, check the harmless hellway, and then do a hammer yump.
I do like that. Hey, we get a recount on the blue balls of Aga.
You can do it if you want.
I was kind of curious. It was a lot.
It was a lot, yeah.
Alright, so I was right. The first couple were not.
Okay, so they did check that. Gonna come in to this bridge room from the top. Setting up that hammer yump, which is just a staple of running 80 keys. This helps you save a key. And they are going to be able to fully complete the back of pod here because they do have the big key. Nothing in the big chest, just 20 bucks. Help them to refill their potions later, I guess.
It looks like it was 6.
6? Okay.
Obscure was over there getting mad at him too.
Anything more than 1 is just terrible. Okay, and using that last pod key to check the basement.
I don't hate this. There's 3 more pod keys. You're gonna find one probably before you find the bow at this point.
Yeah, the only way this hurts is if this is the bow, but it's not.
Yeah.
And even then, you're gonna have to come. You're gonna have to come back over here anyway for the eastern area when you get that. The eastern palace when you get that.
I think we're gonna see Sniper. He can dip Mire. He can out of logic do ice, which looks like what he might be doing.
Yeah. No big key though because they didn't go into Turtle Rock. And we are getting that catfish side, which we had already seen on Radical Sniper side. Getting that check.
Difference being, though, is we get not only Zora, we get waterfall checks too.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think, well, at least one of them fake flippered to Hobo, but I don't know if they did waterfall. Yeah, it didn't look like they did waterfall at all. So this is 2 new checks on the left side. We got 10 arrows and another big key to Thieves Town.
Oh, and that's that other red crystal. So both our red crystals fully in logic now with our combined knowledge. Oh,
we don't have the big key to Mire yet.
Oh, we don't. You're right. I'm sorry. I
No,
thought,
it's okay. We're still missing keys. Keys is kind of our roadblock.
Oh, Ice Palace is a red pendant, not a red crystal. Got it. There's a lot of keys, a lot of insanity. Some would call it key sanity.
We're still missing 4 required big keys at this point, plus 1 item that we don't know about.
Yeah, that ice rod. And we don't know which dungeons are pendants and crystals. We know a couple of them, but no one's really done a map check. It doesn't really matter until you kind of get farther in the game. You're saying, what am I going to do? Is anything on pad? Is something for a pendant in GT? You know, we don't know what Turtle Rock is. It could be that last pendant. It could have the Ice Palace, or sorry, the Ice Rod in Ganon's Tower. It could be in a really nasty spot.
That is true as well. I think worst spot it can be is probably Gauntlet, given that if T-Rock was the other pendant. Oh, there's the 3rd small key for T-Rock, so that may push Jesse up that way soon. Usually most people feel a lot better about dipping on 3 than 4.
Yeah.
Or 3 than 2, sorry.
And I think there's even a way to like save scum a key to check lava chest, and then if it's something really important, you say great, and if not, you do like a reset and save that key for when you need to beat the boss. So with 3, that's definitely in the realm of possibility. As ObscureLifeForm gets their bow.
And here's that little bit of nice routing I was talking about, Ice Break into Ice Tea.
Yeah. Yeah, with enough magic and the 1 key, this is definitely the optimal way to go.
And Ice Tea being nothing today.
But at least they know they don't have to come back for it.
Now, what's going to feel bad is we're going to get to see one more check on Obscure's side that we will not get to see on Jesse's, because the big key chest will get checked.
So Icebreaker there from Obscure. And you're definitely right. This is the room before the big chest that we're going to see. RadicalSniper just walked by. There's another key for Pod, so they've got their one for their boss now. They could actually go beat that now that they've gotten that last key. Or not last key, but one more for them.
I don't know if you go back in there yet. It might even be better just to wait for one more key so that you can actually do vanilla big chest into...
Oh, definitely, yeah. It is on the...
He did do Harmless Hellway, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if he did Harmless Hellway, I think I wait for one more small key.
Yeah, you don't want to go back 3 times. Going back once is good. If you can manage it. So yeah, but the question is, are they going to go up to Turtle Rock? Or, you know, one of these other dungeons that we haven't seen before?
Well, I think it's funneling T-Rock. The only other option Jesse has is A, to go back and beat Pod. That's an option. Or B, to go and dip Meyer.
Yeah.
Dipping Meyer without the big key feels bad, but if something's in there, it feels better.
And proving me wrong again, Ice Palace was actually the blue pendant, not the red one.
Yeah,
still
the red
pendant though.
The other red pendant's the one we still don't know about. That's the one that if we knew it, we'd have full knowledge. Which actually could make this a ped seed if the red pendant's one of the fully clearable dungeons.
Yeah. I do like the 80 keys where the pendants are fully beatable before going into Ganon's Tower. Then you're only needing 0 or 1 items when going into the GT. Getting Dead Rock though, that feels bad. But it looks like they are on their way up to Dark Death Mountain and Turtle Rock. I think they did, I mean, they almost definitely did the Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. I don't think you would have saved and quit after just doing the Light World Death Mountain checks.
No, he started with the Dark World checks. The only other thing he has up here that he hasn't done is he hasn't done the Basement of Hera or Spike.
And that was a nice fight on Obscure side. Just 3 slashes with that sword, a spin and 3 slashes, and all the eyes were gone. That was great. Getting the blue pendant.
I have a feeling we're probably going to see Thieves Town.
Yeah, with that Thieves Town big key that they got, that was... Or, didn't they get the big key somewhere?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I'm feeling either Thieves Town or...
That was
no, he is going Swamp. Okay.
I mean, we don't have the small key for Thieves Town, so that would feel bad to leave that one behind. That's really far without the boots and so many rooms to go through to get there. So going to Swamp is pretty big. They don't have the big key here, which only locks the big chest in this dungeon, so that's not as bad to get back to, I don't think.
It's still pretty nasty because you have to do the reflood and like 3 mirror transitions, but
yeah, in this dungeon, logically, you don't need the big key for the boss. So that, I mean, that big key could be validation chest or something like that, right?
Yeah, this is one of those dungeons. I think it's probably going to be placed, but if you actually play a real game of Rando, like a regular non-key sanity variant, it's one of the few keys that can lock itself.
Yeah.
So I don't know where it plays logically into key sanity, actually, because key sanity, you're supposed to have all the big keys and small keys to have a dungeon completable, as well as the map and compass. But I don't think compasses and maps are required anymore. But I know the keys still were.
Yeah. I mean, that small key in Thieves Town can lock itself in the big chest, or yeah, it can be locked in the big chest and not be able to be retrieved. Yeah, there's some weird stuff outside of Key Sandy as well. Yeah, and that Thieves Town key showed up in the Waterfall Ferry.
Yep.
Which Obscure was able to check. They got their flippers, which Radical Sniper just picked up in that roller room. We know there's not really a lot back here in the back of Turtle Rock that's super helpful. Maybe that lava chest is going to have something, and we'll see if Radical Sniper does some key scumming shenanigans.
I would like for him to, because that's a really big piece of information, but also what we're getting out of Swamp's really big information too. So far in Swamp, all we found is the 4th bottle. 2 checks in. Still a lot of checks to go, but...
Here's a small key for GT. Okay, we got 2 of those.
Those are nice. Not necessarily required, but we'll see. Looks like we're going to see either just going over here to hit the switch and go through to get the key, or a diver down. Looks like a diver down.
Yeah, diver down makes sense here. Got all the equipment you need to do it.
So for anybody who's new to the rando community for this trick, as you're going through the door, you set a bomb and make sure it's exploding as you go through the door. Don't let it finish its explosion to where it triggers. Then when you walk north, it triggers. But yeah, then there's the stuff with the can of Samaria block too. But yeah, the bomb part always trips me up.
Yeah, it must have something to do with it being a super tile or something like that, where the room information kind of stays through the transitions.
Yeah, it's a fun little trick. It's one of our newer tricks in Rando. That and Icebreaker were discovered almost, I think, weeks apart.
Yeah, they came very quickly together. I had barely learned one, or attempted to learn one, before I had to attempt to learn the other. Left side swamp having another 20 bucks. And another 100.
So left side swamp not paying off today. And I don't think you can ever skip it, but that can be a good time save if Jesse does decide to skip it. I just don't think you ever can in Key Sanity.
No, and it, you know, some of these other ones you check, it doesn't, it's just a little bit of a time sink to go back, but with the mirror transition to get into this dungeon, you know, if you've left and come back to it later, and the walk back without boots or something, it's really bad to leave that behind.
Yeah, Jolson making a good point. This long without boots.
Yeah, I mean, nothing we've seen is boots locked, so, you know, we don't know what's behind Pegasus Rocks or King's Tomb or anything, but we didn't see anything on Lumberjack or in Desert Palace. Got our red mail here in Diver Dawn Room.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. Still just that and a bottle so far. So maybe the dip into mire is going to be required. Oh, there's Ice Rod.
There's an Ice Rod. Okay, so Obscure doesn't have that third key yet, do they?
I don't remember where it was at.
Actually, I think they got him in Ice Palace. I think they both have 3 now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay, so...
Okay, so he has 3 marked in his tracker, so they both have 3.
Yeah, sorry, sometimes it's a little small for me to see, but I am seeing 3, yeah. Shout out to our tracker, by the way, Philly. Thank you for all your great work today.
Yeah. Well, we're killing some bosses and doing some rechecks. If you like your runners, feel free to give them a follow as we get another small key to pod out of Swamp. And then I'm Karma with Fred on comms. We've got Philly as our tracker and Tale as our restreamer. You can also give them a follow if you would like. So where do you go? Do you go to pod, I'm guessing, from Obscure side?
Oh, they got the bow, and I believe they have the big key for pod? Yeah, so that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it's going to be a 4-key full clear almost. I think 4 keys you can pretty much full clear it with bow by doing double bow side.
Yeah, you're going to leave one of them. You're going to have to pick between...
they're not, because there's the 5th key's inside pod.
Oh, yeah, well, they'll get that. That was on the bridge chest, I believe, right? The bridge. So, I mean, they'll do the bow side, they'll get that and go, oh, I can do it all.
Yeah, this is going to be a full clearable pod with the hammering out.
Yeah. So we're probably going to see him do the bow side first to try and save that key, and then say, I should have just YOLO'd it.
It's going to work out either way. It's actually going to be nice routing. They're going to get right side into...
yeah.
I don't know if they'll go back or bridge first.
Well, they might... When they get the key, they might say, I'm going to go beat the boss now, and then come back through the door for the back or something like that. But either way, you're not going to leave either of those two behind, the back or the boss. So, got their bow out. And going.
Yeah, so now Jesse's following in footsteps. Going to go do Swamp, which is going to get him a bottle. And not much else. Bottle and red mill. And a key to pod.
And Ice Rod.
And Ice Rod, yes.
That all-important Ice Rod.
So I don't think Jesse save scummed, and I don't think he used the last key either. So he's just sitting on a key for T-Rock.
Yeah, did not check the... Sorry, did not check that lava chest. Yeah, they were a little low on health. and use the safety door. So I don't know if they were planning on it and just kind of rolled with the punches there. But yeah, that fourth Turtle Rock key is where a lot of AD keys run go to die. So good on them for just saving that third one to go and defeat the boss later when they find the ice rock.
And we're gonna be slightly focused in here on Obscure side. There's gonna be like 2 new checks in here from Obscure. We're gonna get the Vanilla Big Key check, and we're gonna get, well, we might not get it right away, but we're gonna get the Vanilla Big Key check and the Harmless Hellway and the boss. Well, Harmless Hellway was already checked, so Vanilla Big Key and boss. Oh, look at this call. Making the call to already do this, not knowing that key is on the bridge.
Oh, interesting. Does that mean they're going to go to the bow side again to save a key, or they're just saying, I'm just going to do the front?
I don't know. This call right here would pretty much tell me that they're planning on orphaning Harmless Hellway.
Yeah. I mean, this portal takes them really back to the front again.
Yeah, Nobly's confirming that this is the play to leave Harmless Hellway, but it's going to end up working out.
Right. Oh, they're going
Both sides.
both side again. So I don't know. I kind of like checking. You don't know it's going to be a key, but I kind of like checking that other one because you're going to have to walk around anyway. You know, whether you do it the first time or the second time.
I'm gonna laugh if he goes to the back first, does everything in the back to save the key, and just never finally checks bridge chest and just like, oh, I didn't have to do all that. Jesse ran out of magic.
Oh, I guess it was already down.
Jesse had to pop a blue for diver down.
All right. Sorry, what's that?
Jesse had to pop his blue potion for diver down.
Oh. For magic or health?
Magic.
Oh, okay. They've got enough money to go get more later. Yeah, they haven't checked the bridge chest yet.
That's, wonder what kind of slashes we're gonna get.
But no, this is,
Oh, see, not just... It's going to be awkward to route that in now.
Well, they're going to have to go Bowlock side again to go to beat the boss.
Well, I think you go bow side, wrap around to the bridge chest. He's going to see what the bridge chest is and be like, dang it.
Right, so that'd be a third trip through the arena, yeah.
Which, if instead of going to Vanilla Big Key, he went and checked bridge first, he wouldn't have had to do.
Right. Which we know. Of course, you know, in Key Sanity, you don't know where the keys are, but... yeah,
nice
I don't know
buffers.
if they thought they checked it, or, you know, maybe they're used to... because with the boots, it makes it easy to check when you come out of that side. You can bonk over there, so maybe they just haven't done it without boots in a while, or this is just the way they do it, and I just haven't seen it done this way before.
Yeah, that select buffering was actually kind of nice.
Getting the diver down on Jesse's side. Red mail.
And we've got our third trip down Bowlock Pod, which
Yeah.
I'm sure no his partners are ecstatic about.
We'll see if they check that chest. I wouldn't be surprised if they... I mean, it's a lot of walking to check it when they didn't.
I mean,
check it
I
already.
don't think you can leave it, but I think there's gonna be some rage slashes involved.
Yeah, hitting the crystal switch, so definitely going to go around. Because you would not check that if you were, or you would not hit the switch if you were just going up towards the next mimic room and continuing on.
So we do got teammates in chat. Nobly think he's gonna throw a couple rage slashes at this.
Yeah. All right, mark it down. 129.30.
Nope, didn't even react.
Hey, it's AD keys. You don't have time to rage slash.
I don't know. I find time for at least a slash or a bomb at some point.
Just be on the lookout for after they've mirrored and they're waiting for their flute, or after they fluted, waiting for their bird.
We do got Swamp down for Jesse.
So
Now I wonder where Jesse's gonna go, because Jesse has an interesting set of options.
The flippers in TR and the ice rod in Swamp sort of negate any advantage you might have from trying to save your portal, because it would have been impossible, I think, with the mirrors. So, at least when both runners find the ice rod, they know my dipping of Turtle Rock is not going to hurt me, because no one else could have come in here and beat it without double dipping it.
Yeah, and it looks
There's
like
no way to get around that.
Looks like Jesse's going to do his water checks, which is fine. He'll get that big key to Thieves, and then he's going to have an interesting decision. He can go beat Thieves, which I think is the more likely play. You can dip Mire, or you can finish. You can go back and beat Pod.
Yeah, and nobly bring up in chat that yeah, they had both done Aga, which was something I had been kind of wondering if they all should have not defeated Aga after checking those chests, just to try and save Portal. But so that decision, also knowing that it won't hurt them in this race. So, you know, going back into Turtle Rock, it's not going to feel bad later. You're probably going to want that 4th Turtle Rock key to try and check that lava chest on the way, just so you can be done with it. But, yeah, Thieves Town really does seem to be a strong option.
And guess what? The small key to Thieves is sitting on Helmasar. So I know somebody said that ObscureLifeForm hates leaving the Thieves Town big chest. Now he doesn't have to.
Yeah, and go on and get your other red crystal, or your first, I guess.
Yeah, we're missing
Town key, and we need a Desert Palace big key and an Eastern Palace big key.
Yeah, we're missing 4 big keys still, which is a lot of an hour and a half in. And it's not like you can get around these. These are 4 that are required.
Yeah, we have checked everything we can in Eastern and Desert. And we've checked, I guess we're going to get the back 4, including the boss of Thieves Town here.
Well,
there's 6 that we can check without the big key, so they could be hiding in these dungeons that we need to go in there and go back. It's not really a thing that doesn't happen in AD keys. You just resign yourself to the fact that you're going to have to double dip some dungeons.
Yeah, this is another interesting orphan coming up from Radical Sniper side. If something's in this big chest, then it's a heavy advantage for ObscureLifeForm.
Yeah, so they got their Thieves Town big from the Waterfall Ferry, right?
Yes, he went to Waterfall Ferry and then came straight here. So didn't go back to beat Pod. So he does not have the small.
So they have the big, but they don't have the small, right?
Yeah, so it's 3 checks for Jesse, 4 for Obscure, and if that 4th is something big, then that's a heavy advantage, I think, for Noble Foxes. Because it would be a while before I think Jesse comes back in here. I think the best thing that could be in here, if it's not in the big chest, is the Eastern Palace Big. To push Jesse back over to Pod Eastern.
Right. That would be helpful for the runner.
But even then, I see this potentially being a last location.
Yeah. Or even the, I mean, of course, there could be nothing in that big chest, but even, you know, if it's a big key to Misery Mire and the big key to Eastern is in Mire or something like that. And missed that one. I think the stream cut out just for a second. I'm not sure what was in
Yeah,
the
it was
chest.
a little bit of a lag. We're about to see it on Jesse's side, so we'll catch what was in there. And no both runners have it.
Basically synced up here.
It was a small key to Mire.
Okay.
And I forget, is that the last? Is it 3 small keys for Mire?
Yeah, there was the one on Zora, and I think
What I'm saying is that
another
you only get
one-
3 inside of Mire normally, right?
Right, yeah, there are only 3. And you get, I think there was one in Turtle Rock as well, so that is all 3.
So we're a big key away from the logical completion of that dungeon.
Yeah. Obscure is a little ahead in this dungeon right now, but they're gonna leapfrog again, I think, because they're gonna spend some time checking the big chest.
Yeah, I think this is going to be like I said, this is going to be a big advantage point in the game, is what's in this big chest.
Yeah, so hopefully we can see it here.
And just a map.
Well, if they do a map check, we can figure out if it's a crystal or pendant, but I don't really know if it's going to be top of their priority list.
You're missing so many big keys, I don't even think it matters at this point.
And runners are basically synced up right now. We're going to see simultaneously, hopefully scripted blind fights. That'll be a rare treat. Wow. This is pretty cool. So yeah, this fight is basically the same every time if you hit blind at the correct times in the correct place. And they have clearly both practiced this because they are doing great. Oh my god.
Wow.
That was fun. Somebody clip that, please.
And it's a big key to GT. Oh, that was great. So at this point, where do we still have? We got Lava Chest that's in Logic, and we've got Mire without completing Mire in Logic.
Yeah, I think Mire is the top of my priority list if I'm here.
And that's probably where they're both going to go. I mean, Jesse's can still go back and beat Pod, but yeah, both of them are fluting to 6. So now we get to find out what is in Mire. Jesse also hasn't done Right Side Desert either.
Yeah, they got their key, looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, he got the small key way later. He dipped us without it at first.
Yeah, that's a good check to make because it could have the big key to Mire or something like that. So we're going to lose our sync on our runners. Sad face.
Yeah, so again, I still think Obscure has some small advantage leads. Already completing Pod, already doing these checks in Desert. But it's not anything crazy to call a lead.
I mean, they are ahead from having beaten Palace of Darkness. So they do have one dungeon more.
Mm-hmm. Which we know that literally all that's going to need to happen is just Helma.
Yes. Yeah.
The other chest didn't matter. I think he left the Vanilla Big Key, which was just like arrows or something. Alright, so we're getting lobby check before Firelock side. And not sure what was there.
We'll see if they menu or anything like that, if we can catch it.
Yeah, we're looking for Eastern Mire and Desert Big Keys at this point. And there's one of them. There's Desert. Ooh, the Desert Big Key and Mire feels really good because you just get to go out and complete it.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, Jesse's going to wish he had waited to do that Desert Dip right there until he had been in here now.
I think it was the right play based on something that you needed that could help you in this next dungeon, because it would feel worse to double dip Mire as opposed to
that's true.
dipping the front. So.
And it's not too bad to mirror and just walk in the back and just check the big chest.
No. It's similar to like how much of the Village of Outcasts you check before going to the Thieves' Town. Yeah, it might be the boots or something, so you can do that. Going to cutscene first before that arena that we don't know what was in there, but Obscure did open up.
Yeah, and I don't mind this. This just makes looping pretty easy. You loop from here to the big key. Well, you can't do the big chest, but you do the map chest into Spike Room and then Bridge.
Yeah, we did get enough keys that we can. Oh, guess not.
Did he find the big key? Was that
Maybe?
what was in lobby? Because otherwise, I don't think you go this way.
Yeah, I mean, this is a way to get there, maybe to save the key or something, but we know that they have enough keys to get through, because you're going to get that.
This makes
key.
me think. Nope. Okay,
Nope.
he just didn't know he didn't have it. Okay, that's fair.
I've made that mistake before, and
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll make it again.
Yeah. So we still got 2 more checks in here. We've got it's a big key and the Meyer big.
Well, that's kind of okay because you've got the pegs down. The blue pegs are down, so you can just go check this really quick. That's really convenient.
So 2 of our big keys. Book was in here.
Okay. So both of them have the book also, which is, you know, I guess useful for some things. You know, we could have a big key on one of
Didn't
those.
catch what was in the big chest. Obviously, still not Boots because he's not dashing.
Or it is, and they forgot. I've gotten late Boots and just walked through a bunch of rooms and forgotten. But we will probably see it on Radical Sniper side. See what they do here. Rage Slash. They're not checking the big chest.
Well, I think he will after this. I just don't agree. I don't like the routing. Like I like what Obscure did, where he went over to the end, towards the end, and just shot it across and fell.
Yeah. If you do have the hook shot, it's a great way to save on a bunch of room transitions and all that. So maybe just forgetting about it, or
Yeah, I think he's gonna go down here. He's 100% gonna go check it. You can't leave that. And then I'm guessing we can go north back through Spike Room.
yeah. I think this is just such an unusual niche place and time and way to find that big key that he didn't realize that he could just walk through down there and get the pegs are down. The pegs are never down when you check that room in a normal seat, because you always do that room first or second. So, or maybe thought this room was locked from the bottom, or just forgot. But like I said, it's super niche. You're probably never going to see that again.
Yeah, so now we're gonna go from here into desert, 100%. They're gonna get the big chests in desert and beat it. And then Pyramid Fairy, I think would be calling me. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that big key for Eastern turning up before then, because that's really the big key, the last one thing we're looking for, right?
Ooh, we have T-Rock marked as last pendant.
Oh, did we get a map check?
Yeah, it's marked on both of their trackers, so that means everything else is a crystal. That means we do need the Eastern big key before GT. Eastern big on Ped. It's actually possible, depending on where the TR big is, or TR4 small is.
I'm gonna guess Boots on Ped.
Oh, that would just be mean.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, you're never gonna go check it. I might think about checking Ped before beating Turtle Rock, just so I know. Maybe it's somewhere else. I can look at other things before beating Turtle Rock and going right into Ganon's Tower, because that is going to save time. But maybe it is faster just to beat the dungeon and hope for it, and then spend your time looking, as we get nothing in the big chest of Desert Palace, but we still could have something on the boss. It's going to be Land Mollis.
So most of your most of your book checks are actually out of the way. especially since we've already beat Skull, we've already beat Hera. So if you're going to do Ether, it's probably going to be while you're on your way back up to T-Rock or GT or wherever you're on your way back to up that way. And then we've got Pombo's Tablet, which if you're going to do it at this point, is probably going to be when you're going to go do Pyramid Ferry.
Yeah, I think checking those 3 before climbing the mountain are good, because if they are the Eastern Palace Big Key, you're in go mode. You can limit your trips up the mountain that you have to do.
Again, I think Jesse's just hoping for that big key to Eastern to show up.
Yeah, and hoping it shows up before they have to go back to pod so they can combo that.
I think that's been the big hope, and I think you do. I actually would like his route to do Bombos into Ferry back over into pod.
There's a big key.
And there it is.
Yeah, I think that's true go mode for Noble Foxes here.
That is with 3 small keys to T-Rock. So it's not actually a bad race. It's about, I don't know, 2/4 of a dungeon. Because Jesse's not going to have to check the 1 check in pod.
Right.
But he is going to have to go in to beat the boss.
And how many keys do they have? Do they have to go? Can they go through the front?
Yeah, he already unlocked the front, so yes.
Right,
I know Jesse can. And Obscure picked up the key, so he should have 2 coming in, or he had 2.
Right, and of course both of them have to traverse through Turtle Rock again, just to get to the boss. Hopefully they don't accidentally use that key.
Yeah, Obscure's done with Helma. That's one of the the advantages he has right now.
Yeah.
He's done Helma, and he's already passed Landmall.
Yeah, I guess an early Misery Mire dip was sort of the call here, but both runners had it be one of their last dungeons.
Yep, it's a pretty good lead. So at this point, this is a lead. And we're going to kind of see how much. He was in here at like 146 something, I believe, entering Eastern. So we'll see when Jesse enters Eastern, because I'm guessing he's going to go do pod into Eastern.
Yeah, you're going to want to do pod first. Checking this key for, whoa, interesting frozen screen there.
Yeah, I don't even know why you would check that chest. I guess maybe for silvers?
Could be silvers, could be the boots, yeah. I mean, I don't hate checking that chest. It's super free.
Yeah, I agree with that now. It's just like, you don't check anything out of the way at this point. If it's in your direct path, yeah, like you're not even going to check anything in GT. GT, you'll check the stuff probably in the gauntlet, but that's it.
Yeah. Right now, there's a lot running through their mind, thinking, do I check Hope Room? Do I check this or that? What do I do? You know, hopefully, but they just got to focus on the boss, not get too far ahead of themselves. I mean, silvers or boots could show up on one of these bosses too, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, see, Hope Room is interesting. To me, Hope Room's kind of a free check, because if it is silver or boots, you get the time back from going and checking it.
Yeah. And you just think, would my opponent check it too? You know, if they're going to spend the time, it's not a time loss for me to spend that time. Do I feel ahead? Do I feel behind? I think, you know, Obscure got that early hammer. I could kind of tell from Radical Sniper's play that they kind of felt behind with the late hammer. They were making some things to like leave the mountain or something like that. At least that was my interpretation of it. So we'll see. Obscure has finished their last crystal at about 148.45, making their way up to their last pendant.
Looks like we have at least a 3 to 5 minute lead. That's actually pretty substantial at this point with no boots.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of things can happen on the climb. They've got 16 hearts, a couple of bottles with some stuff in them.
They've also
Gold
got
sword.
powder, and they've also got
Blood
powder
ball.
and bug net.
Yeah. I wouldn't expect to see too many missteps here on either side, really. And as we talked about earlier, logically, this is a double dip into Turtle Rock, and there was no way around it with the flippers in here and the ice rod down in Swamp Palace.
And logically, it's not even completable yet.
Yeah, I'm assuming that maybe that small key in the big chest of Eastern Palace was their Turtle Rock small or something like that. They only have one on their tracker, so I guess, or on their display, so I guess it wasn't. But it could be in Lava Chest for all we know.
Yeah, like that's the only way logically it's, I think, in logic, is if it's key for key.
Or we could have it in Pyramid Fairy. I mean, really anywhere, but this is sort of the essence of why you save that third key. You skip the Lava Chest because the more important thing is the boss.
Yeah, I think this race ended up being the decision to dip into TR.
Yeah.
I think if both runners did TR on the first trip, I think this would have been a lot closer. Because yeah, I said like 146, so yeah, we're looking at about a 5-minute difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes TR has a lot of gold, and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, we got so much stuff out of Skull Woods. It's like, who knows where the other progression was going to come, and just a matter of searching it for it and finding it and using it to your advantage.
Teammate for Amish Paradise said that the hammer at Agena was the race.
I mean, it was early, but so it kind of helped with some early game routing. But
I actually think the decision not to do TR was probably almost worse, because with what was in TR, bright, early, and accessible.
Yeah.
And having to reclimb to do it.
You're just hoping for boots, and it is GT key as Nobly and Chet rightly predicted. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of small keys kind of left in the world. We were talking about the one for Turtle Rock, but yeah, I've get Trinex here on Obscure's side. Gold Sword. Honestly, one of the easier bosses in the game when you have Gold Sword. $20 there on Trinex, well done, and the red pendant. So we've got everything we need to get into Ganon's tower and eventually go in and defeat Ganon.
Yeah, and this is just gonna be a straight rush up the gauntlet, kill everything, kill Ganon. It's gonna be pretty quick. Well, as much as walking speed is.
Yeah, and Radical Sniper getting there. Crystal from Eastern Palace, which is about, yeah, as you were saying, about 4.5, 5 minutes behind. So, you know, obviously these racers can't see the other one. They don't know where things are, where they are in comparison, but both of them going to do the best they can as fast as they can, and when they get in that go mode, and hopefully it comes out in their favor at the end.
Yeah, nobly. These races, like every single one of these races I've watched, has been nerve-wracking.
Oh yeah.
It's just so many micro advantages that you never know who's ahead until pretty much at the point we're at. I mean, when they both went into go mode, and we can physically see the time difference.
Yeah.
So unless something catastrophic happens, it looks like we're going to have Noble Foxes winning this race, which is going to put them tied at 27 with Amish Paradise in second, behind Missing Two Bows.
Yeah, they'll both be 3 points behind Missing Two Bows. It's gonna. I mean, this division is crazy. It's gonna come down to the few matches between the top 4 teams at the very end here.
Yep. So, as of right now, for anybody who doesn't know, next week's game after this is going to be Missing Two Bows versus Noble Foxes, and Amish Paradise versus Barely Faux Palms, which is the top 4 teams in that division, all of which have a shot at the top 2 spots, potentially.
Yeah, I think Barely Faux Palms being 4 games behind, and then 3 games behind second place is out, but they still will play a very important part when they're facing Amish Paradise next week, because all those teams are going to be fighting for first or second place.
Yeah, if Noble Foxes wins here, then yes. Then I think Barely Faux Palms is out of contention.
Oh, sorry, they haven't played their last game this week, which is, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so they'll go up to 21, which means, yeah, they can 2-0 and be in contention.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, well, I just noticed that about that too, that they'd only played 11. This is just a really, like, this division, this is for anyone who's interested, if you go to the ALTTPR league page, this is the Ganon's Tower division in the open league. It is a really tight division. It's probably got some of the most play out of any of the divisions left.
Yeah, so stay tuned. Next week is co-op Enemizer. It's going to be great. 2 runners on each side talking with each other, doing the same seed, checking and trying to defeat Ganon, and all the bosses and enemies are all randomized. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I've played a couple practices of it so far. It's fun.
Yeah, I've had some really good ones and some really tough ones.
I think it's going to be exciting to watch because it's just a 7-7. For anybody who's not familiar with what's going to happen, it's literally just a 7-7. But the boss shuffle is such a throw that you may think you can do a dungeon, and then all of a sudden find out you can't. So nothing in Mini Helmosaur. I know at this point he's just silvers would help. It would speed things up by like a few seconds or a minute. So might as well just check these last couple of chests. And there they are. Silvers in pre-Moldorm.
All right.
I almost wanted to check this last chest just to see if boots are here. Because that would just be rude. Oh, they weren't there. So they're either somewhere in GT or on PED, I think.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy, one of the tablets. That would be about it. Lava chest, obviously.
Yeah, lava chest. That would be a rude one. So we just had Trinex defeated on Radical Sniper's side. We have Obscure in a nice start to an Aga 2 fight so far.
That was a triple. That was a really nice setup. Oh, and a single there. And a blue ball.
Those blue balls always hurt your timing.
And this should be a double to finish it off. Well done.
I'm never mad with a 3 cycle on Aga 2. Super clean, and we're about to see a really super fast Ganon fight. You blink and you might miss this one. And it's going to be 6 slashes through the first phase, 6 slashes through the second phase, 4 hits through phase 3, and then 4 arrows in phase 4.
All right, getting at least 6 hits in there, and then getting another 6 in phase 2 here.
Couple extra for good measure.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, I do that too. Well, I've had times where I think I hit him like 8 times and it still doesn't go through. Yeah, and somebody making a good point in chat. This is a really good time for bootsless AD keys.
Oh, it's amazing. About 2 hours? That's great.
Yeah, from both runner sides. They both ran well. It came down to just a couple plays, essentially. A couple clearing it. Ooh, and there was a fall on Ganon.
Uh-oh. Well, we'll see what happens here. It's gonna lose about 2 minutes or so. So probably not enough for Radical Sniper to catch up here, but it's definitely making it more interesting.
I think it would have been a little scarier if we knew Radical was already on either Moldorm 2 or Aga 2. But him still being in the Gauntlet climb,
Yeah, for sure.
he might not even make Land Mole 2 before this fight's still over. Somebody in chat pointing out, yeah, it'd probably take at least 1 or 2 more falls.
Yeah. I mean, based on the time that we know, it will be closer though. So hopefully they don't fall again or run out of magic or something like that. To light those torches, because we never found half magic either.
And back in phase 3 again.
And not any chance of running out of magic here.
And 1 more hit.
Uh-oh. Okay.
That was close.
Just made it.
And as long as he makes it by across this small bridge, we will have a winner. And with that bridge cross, with an official race time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 26 seconds, ObscureLifeForm will take this race. Get your GGs in chat.
Yeah, that, as you mentioned earlier, without boots, 2 hours, that was a great seed. That was a great run. And Radical Sniper, honestly, not that far behind. Just a couple of routing decisions.
Oh, that torch shot in his face.
They get torched there, yeah. Resetting the room, I think, here. Does that? I don't think that refills the magic.
It doesn't. And, like... It was just unfortunate the way that he ran out of magic right as he was about to fling at that last torch.
Yeah, without boots, that room can be pretty hard. This one too, but makes it. Not checking any of those. Getting the refill of hearts. Gold Sword makes this fight so easy as well. And honestly, this room is not the greatest either without boots, so I would definitely have checked that Moldorm 2 chest as well for boots. Coming into Aga 2 here, we'll see if they can also get a 3-1-2. Oh yeah, there's 3 hits. Oh, setting himself up possibly for a double there, but also getting a single. And this should be a double. Nice job. On to the Ganon fight. Just got to wait for the bat to transport us all the way over.
And another quick Ganon fight.
Yeah, gold sword here. Always nice to have. Luckily those came early and often in the seed. All those progressive swords.
Yeah, it's like they played the first few minutes without a sword and then all of a sudden got hit with all 4.
Better than the other way around.
I didn't notice that Jesse didn't pick up the silvers.
Oh, gonna have to do the spins.
Yeah, he didn't check pre-mold orm.
Just check the wrong chest. Should be able to get that with the fire rod and some of these torch lights to get that torch.
Oh yeah, he's getting some nice triples. Like I think he's already at 10. Just needs 2 more.
Yeah, this should be 1 and 2.
There we go.
Nice job. And I believe we are joined by ObscureLifeForm here in chat. Are you here?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, GG.
GG, thank you. What a game. What a race.
Yeah, that was very close. And Radical Sniper, I believe, may be joining us as well.
No, he just finished with a official race time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 29 seconds. So almost exactly 5 minutes.
Yeah. So Obscure, you are able to get your team to be tied up here for second place in the Ganon's Tower division. That feels pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I messed up Mystery Week big time. I got stuck in BK for 40 minutes trying to figure out where my knowledge was missing, and I ended up losing. So the fact that I could win this and get us into this crazy, almost 3-way tiebreaker for first and second place feels good.
Yeah, so your win there actually does a couple things. It puts a huge 3-way for first and second place, but it also does knock out, I believe, Barely Faux Palms from being in contention. Though they can still play spoiler.
Yeah, that's true. It's still got big influence on the outcome of this group.
So Jesse also has joined us. GG, Jesse.
Hey, thanks. GG, Obscure.
Yeah.
Whew.
GG, Radical Sniper. Well played.
GG.
Yeah, it's the Foxes in Paradise, we're tied for second. Two Bows actually got 2 wins this week to take into first place, so.
Yeah, it's going to be some interesting games going on for this next week. So I know Obscure, you guys have missing 2 Bows, so that's going to play, I think, a big outcome. And then Amish Paradise, you guys have Barely Faux Palms, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yeah, we've been looking at that week for sure. You know, it's one of those. We knew the end of the season going in was going to be quite a big deal.
Yeah, and Barely Faux Palms is racing right now, I believe, and they could potentially be, I guess, if they win, they're 2 games behind you. And there's probably a way they could get up to second place in something. There's some weird way, but I think, you know, between the 2 of your teams, you're both playing for first or second place in this division, and this was a great race to sort of knot up the standings there. I think one of the biggest cruxes in this seed came to on the Death Mountain going into Turtle Rock, and RadicalSniper, you did not go into Turtle Rock and weren't able to get that those flippers, so you sort of had to double dip and then triple dip Turtle Rock.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had thought I could wait a little bit and hopefully have the big key and the ice rod, and turn that into a one trip. And I gotta say, like, that's kind of the feeling I had throughout the seed. Was just I felt good about like my choices, or I thought I did, and it felt like every time I made a choice, if I had just gone to the thought I had for the next choice instead, I would have been better every time. It was like, go into pod, don't find anything. Go into ice, find a bow. Then go into TR and find the flippers. And it was just step after step. It was like, go into desert, don't find anything. Go into mire, find the desert big key and the mire big key. And that kind of just plagued me the whole way. I felt like I couldn't escape this thought of, I know, like, if I had just done these things in a different order and done the exact same checks, would have been a really different story.
Yeah, and you two were following each other for a lot of it. Obscure just made slightly... Like, Obscure went dam into Agina's cave early, so had the hammer much earlier. And then also did went into TR on the first trip up the mountain.
It had crossed my mind. Saw Quake, and I was like, ugh, I don't like it.
Also did pod, or ice before pod.
Yeah, probably getting those flippers was a big part. How did you feel, Obscure, when you got that hammer? Because you did Agina's cave kind of a lot earlier than a lot of runners would do.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that there, I was just like, okay, this might give me a slight advantage here. But then, I mean, it kind of cancelled out because gloves and Moonpearl were just all over the place. So ended up full clearing it anyway, Light World before going to Dark World. So that advantage kind of, like, once I did get Dark World access, it kind of diminished a bit. But I was like, you know what? It was nice to get it on my first time round rather than last locating Agina's cave. Like, it is still a bit of a trek to get down there.
Yeah. This seed sort of funneled RadicalSniper there pretty quickly because there wasn't a lot of progression, and of course the other things for Dark World were in the Dark World, like the gloves were there in Skullwoods.
Yeah, I had felt pretty comfortable with waiting on Agina for as long as I did. When you don't get anything that feels real, like, important for a while, like, I have no problem gambling Agina because I think we've all seen it have something. It's just, I was hoping for boots or flute first, and then, like, I got down to that and mushroom and Zora, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go to Agina first. I wanted to save mushroom because I did a fake powder. I was like, maybe this will pay off. So,
also one of the true joys of the seed was you guys were effectively leapfrogging back and forth with the checks in Thieves Town. Obscure had the small key and was able to check big chests, and then you guys were, within frames of each other on the blind fight. You had synchronized fights. It was so fun to watch. If you guys are going to go back and check any part of it, that would be...
I love going back to watch my races, especially, these close ones and losses. I like to learn a little bit from what happened. So yeah, seeing that will be cool.
Yeah, it was literally a synchronized blind fight. I think literally you guys all heard the explosions within like a frame or two of each other.
So the practice you guys have put on with your blind script truly paid off. Well done on both your ends.
And I'm just gonna say, by the way, first official race hammer jump by me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
yesterday at probably around like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I was like, I have to knock this out before this race. I have to learn it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's just get it.
Hey, it was first try, so well done.
Yeah. Seriously, fine. To anybody who's waiting on it, find the visual cue that works for you. Everybody has a different one, and I just found the one video that kind of explained it to me in a way and what to look for that I was like, that makes perfect sense.
Oh yeah, I've gotten that too. I had to go through 3 or 4 different times of going, I'll learn this from this video before I found the one that allowed me to
Exactly. You know, it's like, oh, look at this pixel on the wall. Look at this pixel here. Look at this shadow. Look at that shadow. And I'm just like, none of these are speaking to me. And then I saw the one that was like, look at this floor tile. Look at this shadow. And you'll set it up every time. And I think right after watching that video, I did like 5 in a row. And I was just like, I feel good.
So I guess my general question is going to be, we're going into Inamizer Week. How are you guys looking forward to the Inamizer co-op? Have your teams already had a lot of practice with it?
Obscure, did you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, I can do. So I mean, we are against 2 bows who are currently a game ahead at the moment. So it's going to be a tough match to begin with. You know, we have done a lot of practice. Whenever we get some free times, we'll just throw out an Enemizer. But I mean, at the end of the day, it just comes down to the seeds, doesn't it? I mean, our teams are pretty as practiced as they can be. If we lose, then, you know, it's just down to the seed, down to the day. It could go either way at this point.
And I guess for Amish Paradise, I feel good about Enemizer. I don't know. I know a lot of people dislike the mode, but I generally enjoy it. Maybe I've gotten spoiled by some nice boss placements in certain areas, but I don't hate the mode, so I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm running at least 1, possibly 2 of the seeds for that week, so we'll see what happens.
My only advice for Enemizer is don't slash the bushes and always look out for wall masters.
Yes, Ice Palace is the worst dungeon to get wall mastered.
Oh.
I have done... Like, I got exposed to Enemizer a lot through Ladder Mystery, and I think one of the first couple of times going through Ice Palace, you know, that last room before you drop in on Cold Stare, you kind of forget that wall masters can be there.
Yeah.
And the time it takes you to get into that room and begin lifting the rock is roughly just enough time for that first wall master drop to happen.
Yeah. You can't cancel the lift animation. But it should be fun, and then, you know, you guys are obviously all playing for seeding and playoffs and all that stuff, which is going to be a great time to watch, and we're all looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Let's see what happens next week.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I know, like, from Amish Paradise's standpoint, you know, we're definitely one of the a team of newbies, especially going up against Foxes and missing 2 bows. You know, we knew going in kind of that from an experience standpoint, we've been kind of in a tough spot. So, you know, the fact that we're going into last week and having a shot to take a playoff spot from one of these great teams has just been amazing. And, you know, for all 3 of us, it's been a lot of growth up to this point where we're just learning a ton.
Yeah, I think generally, like, the league as a competition compared to other tournaments, I mean, it just being there with your friends and supporting each other, and things don't go right, just having that support and all that stuff. Like, it's such a fun tournament, like just playing with your friends. Like, so as far as we're concerned, like we've already been the top 3. Like, we're a huge contender. Like, we've already succeeded. Even if we don't quite make it, like, we've already put up a hell of a fight and a hell of a good game and had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I mean, where else can you get, you know, teams of people co-op and with a spoiler log and a pilot, and it's all great. This is the place to go if you want to watch some fun rando action. So I know we have more things happening right now on the League Channel 2. There is, as I was saying, the Barely Faux Palms is racing in their race, and of course there's always some more stuff happening this week, and of course next week before the playoffs begin, and the following week. So be sure to check out all of the Link to the Past Randomizer League action. Do you guys have any more shout outs as we wrap up here?
Oh, I'm just gonna. I have one thing. I don't know if a lot of people who watch on my channel are here, but I too just want to say, a lot of my friends, like to joke about no boots. There you go. You got a no boots race, from start to finish.
And not just a no boot seed, like pushing a sub 2 hours on a no boot seed. That's insane.
Yeah.
AD key boots. We were talking about that.
Yeah, but just generally, thank you guys for the comms, Talo for the restream, Philistea. I did tell her to track me some boots before the game started so I'd get them from the go, but I guess she didn't do that, so she just decided to put them in GT instead, so thanks for that. But no, thanks guys.
Yeah, there wasn't very many plays. Yeah, and GG's to both of you. That was an awesome race to watch. I've got both the runners' links down in chat. I've got the comm team and Philly on tracking. And then there's also Tale on the restream.
Yeah, thanks again, everybody. Always love being on the restreams and appreciate all the work that goes into it.
And I guess with that, we'll close this one out. GG's again, and everybody have a good day as you move on to watch other races.
Thank you.